leading. Those are two reasonable deliveries from Zach Fuchs, especially the second one. That's so cheeky by Tiaan van Vuuren.
And what do we know? South Africa now has a lead of 7 runs. The run rate also at 4.6.
For those of you watching in New Zealand and elsewhere overseas, in case you're wondering, Benoni is about 40 kilometers east of Johannesburg. On what's called the East Rand, we still very much on the Highveld here.
One of the oldest stadiums, cricket stadiums around. Wasn't it the first stadium also to host a day-night match in South Africa? It's between it and St. George's Park.
I think that might have been the Pam Brink Stadium, actually, which is not far from here. But I also think, being a KwaZulu-Natalian, that I think it might have been Jan Smuts Oval in Pietermaritzburg that hosted the first ever day-night game. We'll have to do some research on that.
A hit away once again. Pull short from Sidathemba Qeshile this time around. Man a deep mid-wicket. Was not even interested to chase that one away. That ends the 107th over, with South Africa A on 494 for 6, getting ever so close to that 500.
Fuchs is still trying to drop the ball short, but that just came up waist high, and a very easy put away for a man who's gone on to 170 now. I remember the early days of day-night cricket as well. Greenpoint Stadium in Cape Town was also one of the early ones. The traditional grounds in South Africa didn't have floodlights yet. I mean, the traditional cricket grounds, that is. As we welcome back Pendulo Magabane to commentary. Pendulo, I know you enjoyed your tea, but I think you must have also really enjoyed the batting since tea as well.
It's been pretty good, to say the least. Very exciting for both these batters who have their eye in to continue in this vein.
There goes Van Vuuren now launching over cow corner. Glorious hit and a 6. It's his second 6 of this innings. Takes him now to 81 not out, and South Africa have stormed past 500. Can you believe it? From being 6 down for not much more than 200.
They're absolutely blitzing this ball. Tiaan van Vuuren shows what he's made of. He's a strong build. We saw with his bowling, he is an all-rounder. Now he's showing that his batting is of the same high quality.
And Lennox drops short and is put away for 4 more by Tiaan van Vuuren. He has to 87 not out now. That was a 6. It wasn't 4, it was 6. It was flat. Another great shot by him. I think he could be eyeing a maiden first-class century before the declaration.
Milestones on milestones now for the South African A players. That ball just looked like it was hit on the ground. It's unbelievable how much speed was hit onto it to hit it that flat.
And now with the field spread, they're just easy ones to be gathered as well. So South Africa's first 5 wickets put on 232 runs. These next 2 have added 275, and 230 of those have been in this partnership between Qeshile and Van Vuuren. Oh, that might be a little bit troublesome. No, nothing's going New Zealand A's way. I think it might have been just outside off stump. Krashile got into a little bit of a tangle trying to come forward, and the length wasn't quite there.
Looked pretty good appeal from Jaden Lennox and the New Zealand A boys. They've had a couple of appeals not go their way. It's going to happen after you bowl 107 overs. You will have ones that you feel like could have been gotten.
Did hit the flap. Do you think it was maybe going over? Slapped away through the covers, full and wide by Lennox. That was a bit of a protest delivery, really. You could see he was still upset about the decision being turned down, and it was a bit sulky. He threw it full and wide, and he got punished.
It's a true test, this first-class cricket thing. You've been bowling for 30 overs now. You get a decision not going your way, almost getting the player who's close to a 200. And this is where your temperament needs to be solid and needs to be strong. And it's going to be tough because it's the first time New Zealand have been put in this kind of pressure. You kind of switch off after 500 runs because how do you keep on moving? This partnership now the highest of the series, eclipsing the 230 between Reece Murray and Dale Phillips and Potchefstroom. It's amazing batting.
Remarkable, absolutely remarkable. And yeah, New Zealand, they have a bit of an air of a team that's waiting for the declaration, really. There doesn't seem to be much in it, much to be gained by them at the moment, as you just saw Lennox having a couple of words with the batters.
We can say professional this, professional that, they're human after all. It's going to take its toll on you. And if you can move it away from this over break and come back and just continue operating, that's going to be the key. Because, like I said yesterday, when New Zealand were in this position, so long as the batting team wants to bat, the bowling team must continue bowling. And so it must just push that away and continue with his work.
Toiling, I think you mean at this stage of the afternoon. And Captain Joe Carter's having a bit of mercy on his frontline bowlers. He's bringing in Reece Murray for just his third over in first-class cricket. He bowled a tidy first over, just one run off it. But I fancy Krashile's going to put him under pressure here. Well, you can't even blame the wind for that run. The wind's blowing in the other direction. That was very wide outside off stump.
Sometimes this is where legends are born, Ken Borland. You find yourself being a true all-rounder. Needs to send it closer. In as much as it's first-class cricket, you still need to put it in a proximity where the batter can play the ball and in the pitch.
He doesn't want to get close to the hitting zone. Bit too short and slapped though to the boundary fielder in the covers. Just the one.
Tian van Vuren, he's been fearless in his work. 88 from 97 deliveries. He too started slow. This has been some really great batting.
Pulled away powerfully to the man at cow corner, just for one.
The pace of their respective innings has been so good. Starting slow, and then accelerating when time came. Both of them, really.
Yeah, it's been a very well-paced partnership. 229 now. And now a quick one that they're going to try and turn into two. Krashile, well, he had a bit of cramp earlier, but that's definitely gone. He raced through for those two runs.
extremely smart batting here from South Africa A. You've been hitting the boundaries. You've sent all the fielders to protect those boundaries, and they've left all the space in the inner ring open. Just look at that behind Kreshile. Those are easy tools any day. And if you're fit enough as a batting team, you're going to exploit that.
Captain Joe Carter had no joy with umpire Kuma about the ball, and he's tried Bongani Jeli there as well. But also no luck.
Have to find a way to get things going. That new ball didn't really have the effect New Zealand thought it was going to have. Rather the opposite. It's always that feeling that the new ball is going to do something, it's going to move around, and therefore you might get a wicket. Alternatively, failure to land it in the correct areas. Story as old as time. It's going to fly off that bat through that ground. It's going to be 4 runs or 6.
Well, you guys, and by you guys I mean you, MP and KG, mentioned earlier your concern about whether New Zealand A should take the second new ball with their one new ball bowler off the field in Ben Lister, and Zach's having had a bit of a workload immediately before that as well. And in hindsight, it looks like you guys are bang on the money, because that was just a period that went wrong for the tourists, and a big momentum swing at that time.
Adi Ashok, he had to be one of the players who fell victim to the blades of this partnership. And my goodness, what is it, a bludgeoning job. He comes in, he changes ends, coming from the Ekurule in the end. He has been bowling purely from the Chalet end. Maybe a change of fortune with the change of end. Van Vuren is in the 90s.
Yeah, it's not the ideal wind for a leg spinner to the right-hander. It's blowing from leg to off. Leg spinner would like to get a bit of drift into the right-hander and then turn it away off the pitch, but it'll make his googly more effective there. Too short and swatted down the ground just for one.
That's if both Kreshile and Van Vuren allow him to find his areas, because that has been the issue. Especially from Kreshile, his feet have been sweet, dancing around that crease to disrupt the bowler.
Slog sweep, high and handsome, and all the way for 6. Kreshile will go to 186 not out. And you mentioned footwork. Great footwork in this innings, and it's what you expect from a wicketkeeper, because footwork is such an important part of being a good glove man, and Kreshile is certainly that, and he's shown today what a quality batter he is as well.
Smashing shot from Kreshile. Sends them to 250 as well. Blinding strike.
He goes again, but misses.
Every ball is an event now. South Africa A leading by 45 runs. Kreshile is on 186. Big heave and a miss.
And bowled. Fancy that was the googly. And Sinatem at Kreshile heading out. No doubt there's a declaration. It might even be coming now, in fact, because it looks like Tiaan van Vuren might be wandering off as well. His bat's under his arm, but he might just be waiting for the new batter to come in.
He's worked himself so well to 186. Sinatemba Kreshile, it was the googly that worked. Like we said, they've been disallowing him from hitting his areas. but he went for it anyway, even after being hit for a 6. And it's the second time in this series Ashok has actually bought his wicket and got that googly going. It's fantastic batting from Snetsemba Qeshile. His highest score in first-class cricket comes in South Africa A colours, 186 from 206. The ball was flying all around the field.
Yeah, magnificent innings. 4 hours and 20 minutes, 4 hours and 23 minutes at the crease, 25 fours and 4 sixes, and that superb partnership, 250 for the 7th wicket. And I'm sure that's some sort of a record. We'll look into that. But he and Tiaan van Vuren have totally turned this game around. There is no declaration just yet. We think they're going to push on until closer to 4:30, give themselves an hour at New Zealand Day.
On top of that, Ken, it would be heartbreaking for Tiaan van Vuren to have put in all of that work. Qeshile was not alone in that partnership. That 250 was very much well shared between he and Van Vuren, and these last couple of deliveries, he's shown that he can get 100 within 3 shots right now. And so you even give him 3 overs, say, okay, give it your best shot. He's already got a 4-fer. He missed out on a 5-fer. Imagine now you steal away a chance for him to get 100. Might as well flounder it on his own if he misses out, rather than take away that opportunity.
Well, I think the way they've been batting, both of them, for the last half hour or so, I think that there is a declaration in mind, but they've also been keen to get to those milestones as quickly as they can. Qeshile all-out attack, falling just short though, 186 for him. And we saw Van Vuren as well the last time he was on strike. He wasn't holding back. He's on 91, just 9 runs to go. And he's got a very capable partner now in Cody Yusuf.
It's been all guns blazing. It's going to continue being all guns blazing unless Cody Yusuf offers Tiaan van Vuren the strike. His 91 off 100 deliveries. Man, has he played so good.
It's been a great game for him. Jeepers. Probably the pick of the bowlers. Certainly on the first day. Ended with 4 wickets. And now a superb contribution down the order with the bat.
It was really brave bowling from Adi Ashok to get that wicket of Snetsemba Qeshile. He's already gone for plenty.
Oh, scrambling work by Joe Carter in the covers. That was struck fiercely. Put his body on the line, saves the single. And I think the batters decided that they want Van Vuren on strike. So they probably could have snuck a single there, decided against it. 527 for 7. Van Vuren 9 away from a maiden first-class 100.
They don't want to stay out there for too long. Yusuf and Van Vuren, they still have a mighty task with the ball. Looks good to bat. It's not, they shouldn't think just because the fielders have been out there the whole day that once they get the ball in hand, it's going to be easy pickings. Certainly not easy pickings for the New Zealanders right now. So if the declaration come, it must come very quickly, as now New Zealand go into the bowlers.
It is still a good batting deck, must be said.
You can't keep hiding. I'm done hiding.
Is basically a standard deviation of either a deficit or a lead. Because when you're looking at a lead of 50, New Zealand also feel like, hey man, we can actually still make a game out of this ourselves too.
Yeah, I don't think New Zealand are looking to make a game out of it now, but it is a handy lead. You're right, because it could mean the difference between chasing 200 or 150 on the final afternoon. So it's just remarkable how well things have gone with the bat this afternoon for South Africa, eh?
And then that echoes the importance of South Africa to come in and bowl really well, whilst New Zealand are a little bit tired before they rest for tomorrow. If they snatch up a couple of wickets before the end of play, and New Zealand still have either a very tiny lead or a very slight deficit, South Africa can feel like they can come in tomorrow and working hard. I think I was looking at it from that perspective. Thank you for the clarity, Mr. Borland. And so it's a really handy lead.
Van Vuuren looks like he wants to come back for 2, but he won't be able to. It's up to 93 now.
I slowed it down a bit. But it was a show for show when Kreshile was there. The bowlers were getting distorted. Now you feel like they can get back in and clear South Africa.
Easy one to end the over, 530 for 7. Cody Yusuf keeps the strike for the next over. And we are 6 minutes away from 4:30. So whatever happens, New Zealand are going to have possibly less than an hour to bat. But we can theoretically go on to 6 p.m. if the light holds. It's a lovely day, not a cloud in the sky, and pretty bright. But at this time of the year, after sort of 22:06, the light does fade quite quickly. Gets it on the full, does Cody Yusuf, and sends it away over mid-on.
It's a full toss from Adi Ashok. It was asking to get hit, and it was well done from Cody Yusuf. You can see Van Vuuren is actually eager to get to the other side.
And the field's up for Yusuf because he's the new batter and they want to bowl at him. But now he's hitting boundaries as well. That could be another one. Heaved over mid-on again. And another 4.
Who knew that first-class cricket would be a festival of boundaries? Cody Yusuf just standing and delivering. He too, very much into the party. He's not wasting any time.
And that run rate is dashed up to 4.83 to the over. And it's worked out terribly for New Zealand. A bit of a speculative shy at the bowler's end because Van Vuuren had come a little way down and turned a little bit slowly to get back. But I think he would have been home safely, and now it's cost another 4 runs.
Heads are getting lost now. Where even Yusuf, the guy you think you're going to get out, is hitting you.
Swing and a miss, and wicketkeeper Hay quick to get the bails off. End of the over, 543 for 7. Van Vuren on 93. Coda Yusuf has shot up to 14, courtesy of a couple of boundaries and 4 overthrows, which of course went to his name as well. That's nice.
Always love some extra runs. It seems like that last ball as well. If Ashok had delivered a googly, he was well going to be within the money. That's how we got Kreshile. That's how we got numerous wickets throughout this series. But this man will look to preserve his as he works his way into triple figures on his first outing in SAA colours. What a way to start. He hadn't had a single half century in first class cricket coming in today with a high score of 47. Look at him now.
Murray, you just getting the better of him there slightly with his little leg spinners. Slap down the ground. It's going to just be one. Oh, Coda Yusuf very unselfishly running back for 2. And he gets there well. That's great running by Coda Yusuf.
Very big difference between Tian Van Vuren's approach to 100 and Ashila's approach to 100.
Went for the big, wanted it, thought he'd get to 100 of that shot. Kashile went quite quickly through 90s, didn't he? He was also, didn't linger. Oh, my word. Well, you can forgive the part-time leggy for that run, but it's 4 more runs plus the extra, so 5 to the South Africa tally, which takes them to 550.
Big numbers. That's a big wide as well from Reece Marios. Looking for the quicker delivery and also flatter. Just shows how difficult this leg spinning skill is. He's there with his guidance.
Murray Hughes actually he's doing a good job. He really is. He'd only bowled 1 first-class over before this match, and only took out 95, and he's tying him up quite well. It's not going to beat Cow Corner. Tumbling save, and they settle for 1. Van Vuren on to 96 now. He will keep the strike. I, however, will not be keeping strike. I'm going to hand over, as much fun as it has been, though, this last hour. KG Masubulele will be joining Pendula Magabani.
Adi Ashok. He's the man coming in. Bang! Over the top it goes for our Tian Van Vuren. He makes it to 100 runs in absolute fashion. A moment to take it in and savor for Tian Van Vuren. What a start to his SAA colours.
Lennox, you can score an 80, I can score 100. That will be Tian Van Vuren absolutely dispatching of that ball. And that's his death. They're very, very emotional. Making his debut, can't keep the tears down, and we would blame him. What a proud moment that is. If you're watching it, want to watch it again on that stream, just to make sure, yes, it is 102 of 110 balls. Yes, it is. Giving a thumbs up there, the crowd clearly listening to what's happening up here. What an innings here from Tiaan van Vuuren.
Rivaldo Munsami has come in and is giving them a hug. They lost the ball for a moment, and back it comes. What a blow from Tiaan van Vuuren to take it out of here and fling himself into triple digits for the first time in his professional career. And what a moment to do it.
Smiling a lot in Pendulo, because yesterday when Kamva asked what sort of score South Africa would look at, and I said close to 600. That's exactly the direction they're going at. When I look to bet once, or if they have to bet twice, make it very, very minimum, like a 5 overs, or chase about a 25, 26 odd. But wow, what an innings this has been. 102 of just 110 balls coming in at number 8. Remarkable stuff here from Tiaan van Vuuren, making his family proud.
Now it's all open, but Simon Keane is under it. Simon Keane slips through, and it goes over the boundary for 4. That's why they cheered in the dugout. It's all going South Africa A and Tiaan van Vuuren's way.
Yeah, definitely. Just putting his head down here. I've got my 100. I've got a team in a very good position here. And Dasi can go for those runs. In Zulu, they say, Avulegile Masango. Meaning the floodgates have opened, and that's exactly what has happened in this game. First, it was Sinetemba Kreshile getting his 100, and now Tiaan van Vuuren on his debut. Wow, what an innings. It's been so great to just watch him go about his innings. Came in when it was a difficult time, 277 for 6 when he came in. Had to steer the ship with Sinetemba Kreshile. And after steering the ship, Sinetemba Kreshile has gone now. Now he is controlling the ship, no longer just steering it, taking it to where he wants to take it.
So the declaration may come around the corner now, because he really has played himself to that milestone, deserves every single moment that he got, all the cheers he received. Never looked in doubt, ever.
Once again, goes for another one, and Keane doesn't get to it. Another 6. Another 6 of the bet of Tiaan van Vuuren. Really, really, really pouncing into the bowling here.
Keane thought he had a chance to redeem. That first chance was really difficult. This one was downright impossible. Over his head, and he's not short, Simon Keane. One more time. Close this over with a mighty, mighty blow. You would think these are boxing gloves, but Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is over. It is the Van Vuuren show.
Very difficult to be a spin bowler when you're getting hit like that. Like, what can you do? Can't bounce the guy out. Can't bowl a yorker. Well, you can try, but the way that Tiaan van Vuuren is going about this innings, probably gonna find it into Johannesburg. We are in the east of Johannesburg. Might just hit it in the central of Johannesburg.
There's a street going to our left. I don't know if those cars are safe driving past Benoni here. Tiaan van Vuuren is absolutely lighting it up. No chance of going out of bad lights when it's like this. Reece Murray continues. So does South Africa with their splurge of runs. I guess they want to overcome that 607.
It's one of those things that when a game is going this way in terms of the batting team, the bowling team will like to bring their strike bowler in to try and get a wicket. But because the South African team has flattened out the New Zealand bowling, they're going to have a part-time bowler to come in and try to get them a wicket. So there's brilliant batting here from South Africa A.
They've shot that run rate up to 5. Oh my goodness. And it's all been happening just after 100 overs. They've been playing T20 cricket. Scratch T20 cricket. We've just watched the T10 competition down in Kingsmead, Durban, live on Cricket South Africa's YouTube channel. I think the gentlemen here have found inspiration.
Yeah, definitely. But I think he is happier to be here, to be playing in this format of cricket and showing his exploits. Because you've got to think that when selectors do select, yes, we're selecting 4 or 5 bowlers, but if they get to a point where the bowlers are almost evenly matched up, they look at the next thing about fielding, can he bat, can he contribute? And you think about someone like a Coben Bosch and the kind of batsman he is for the Proteas. He is a bowler, but because he's a very good bowler, it gives him that opportunity to come in and know that he's a very handy number 8 or number 9 to have in the slot. And Tiaan van Vuuren, and we spoke about him, possibly a team looking for him in Division 1 to come and play, and he's showing that even those 4 wickets that he got, it's not all about that. He can also hold the bat and hold the bat properly. I mean, to be going at a strike rate of almost 100 now, we've got a 50-up partnership in just 32 balls.
It's absolute bonkers batting. Cody Yusuf has contributed 16 of 16 deliveries, so he too has played his hand. Tiaan van Vuuren, he's absolutely smashing it up. And it's just torturous now to the New Zealanders. Oh no, they throw the wicket away. Tiaan van Vuuren, he was coming back for number 2. Cody Yusuf denies the run to come back. And that will be the declaration. 577, and on debut, Tiaan van Vuuren falls off a miscommunication. But do you really call it falling when he stood so tall? 120 from 115.
Yeah, brilliant batting here. Looked like they were set for 2 up front, but Cody Yusuf, after he turned, decided not to go. Tiaan van Vuuren acknowledging his parents there, acknowledging everybody in the field. Very, very well batted. His team is very happy about his exploits here today, Tiaan van Vuuren. So young man, go up, put your feet up. Then let's see how many wickets we can get before close of play today.
500 South Africa got, and then they said, let's get more. They went to 550. That was still not enough. This was the wicket that closed everything off. A miscommunication seals the deal on 577 for 8 for South Africa A. And what an innings it has been. Ups and downs, just like the New Zealand innings. But Nethemba Qeshile, 186. And then Tiaan van Vuuren, 120. We did say earlier on in the morning, South Africa need big scores. And big scores they did get.
Definitely 2 big hundreds, a 180 and a 120 coming from a number 8 batsman. A 50-plus partnership for the 8th wicket. That's exactly what this game is about. Getting and building up those partnerships to get yourself into a good stage of the game. But that is the end of the innings for South Africa A, declaring with a lead of 94 on the score.
Zach Folks with 2 wickets. Adi Ashok with 3. Jaden Lennox with 2. New Zealand had to toil hard. But now it's their turn to do it again after scoring 482. South Africa have declared, and we will come back after 10 minutes to bring you all the coverage of the 3rd innings of the match. 577 for 8. That was what South Africa's posted in reply to New Zealand's 482. And thus, a lead of 95 for South Africa sees New Zealand walk in, needing to crack it down. But they walk in with a different opening pair. Reece Murray is still out there, but he comes in with the captain, Joe Carter, who came in very low in the order in the first innings, and now he's going to have a crack at the top. It's the third innings between South Africa A and New Zealand A in their second unofficial test here at Willamore Park. My name is Bendulo Makubane here in commentary. Next to me, Mr. Kagisho Masubulele.
40 minutes to go today. Close of play scheduled to be at 17:30. As I said, change, and one wonders what brought about the change in terms of the batting lineup.
Slow down and embrace the Isiasiha way of life. Uncover the rich cultural tapestry of Cyprus. Let love blossom in the serene ambience of Cyprus. Live the Isiasiha way of life.
It's 190. Cody Yusuf had a little bit of a cameo after getting the final wicket yesterday for South Africa A, and now he's going to open the bowling.
You would say momentum with the South Africa A team.
Cody Yusuf begins. And he's going to start Reece Murray.
Right now.
Swing and a miss for Reece Murray.
And it's one of those shots that you'd say that, especially in the test cricket, that a top order batter would not be looking to play early on. But again, that mental fatigue makes you do either two things: to be negative or to be hyperactive and try to go for things that you're not supposed to be going because you're not thinking properly.
So this is the time for South Africa A to hunt, and to hunt wildly, and get a crack into Reece Murray or Joe Carter. And even that whole top order, because as we've seen and as we've been speaking, New Zealand A can contribute throughout the order right up until the bottom now that we've seen from Jaden Lennox. So the inroads that South Africa need to make are right now before they go take a rest at stumps.
Very good stop there from Lesego Snokwani at that Kali area.
Took a fantastic catch in that fashion. Lesego Senokwane stopped the boundary. Look at how everybody's just cheering him on. His innings has gotten forgotten, actually. Started everything well yesterday. Lesego Senokwane scoring 70 runs. He also took a run out of Josh Clarkson, a stunning throw to the hands of Kreshile, and a catch too of Adi Ashok. He's had a good game, Lesego Senokwane.
And often sometimes when you say somebody's innings has been forgotten, it's because of how bad it was. But that's not the case in this time around. It's just because of how much the game has moved forward after that important start to the game that he had. He obviously had an 80 odd from the captain Marcus Ackerman, and then 200s also, so it's easy to forget a 70. But let's not forget how important that was in the context of the game.
He really absorbed a lot of the pressure, Lesego Senokwane. He was batting as slow as a turtle, but with purpose. Because once you get into a good flow, that slow becomes quick without even thinking. And all of a sudden it got into 70. First over's done. No run scored. And I think on top of just the hundreds that were scored at the later on, it's the fashion in which they were scored. That partnership from Van Vuren and Kashile, over 230, and it came in less than those 230 balls, and that's why that hype of what they were doing just is so exciting. And from facing and scoring 120 runs, Jan Van Vuren says, Marcus Ackerman, give me the ball. I'm on fire. I still got it. He's going to open it up.
Actually like this from South Africa A. Yes, it's been there for a while betting. It's the last wicket to fall. But you've got to feel that he's still got that adrenaline with him, Jan Van Vuren. And probably coaching staff would have said, if you just got 40 minutes to go, just give it a good best, have a good night rest and come back tomorrow. So empty the tank and come back tomorrow and let's see where the game is.
Sometimes when you've been performing so well, your body just gives you what it needs. You don't feel the aches, you don't feel the tiredness, especially if you're a professional athlete, as these gentlemen are. That level goes to a higher degree. And so, walking out, maybe it's even the run-outs that he got ran out on, is like, I am angry, let me fight back. And here he is opening it up.
Looks like Rivaldo Munsami is on the field for Jason Smith. Currently doing the hard yards of being under the helmet there. Oof.
These are the areas that Van Vuren was using when he started off. He was really, really excellent. Even yesterday morning, with that new ball that South Africa took, he really made it talk. Gave the batters problems until New Zealand found their stride and everything was nullified. Rhys Mariu was his first victim, his first wicket in SAA colours. He received an absolute jaffa. Back of a length and moved away from Mariu, nabbed the edge, and off he went for 30 after scoring 249 down or up in the northwest.
Munsami very close to the batter, and not doubt that he'll be sharing a couple of words knowing Munsami.
The wicketkeeper himself, Munsami. Jordan Herman moves away from second slip. He's going to go to leg slip rather. That's why Munsami is just shifting across to be a bit straighter. So if the ball does come to the pads and to the armpits of Rhys Mariu, he's under threat. If it goes to the off stump, he's under threat.
Having a brilliant game here, Jan Van Vuren. Bowling very nice and tight up front, not letting the batters get away with anything. Spoke about New Zealand will probably be more in survival mode in this 40 minutes that's left of today's play. 30 minutes to go. Probably be a lot more in survival mode. Make sure that they don't go out.
It's going to be difficult if Jan Van Vuren continues in that vein. He starts off well, just gives away a single. It's one for no loss after 2 overs here at Willowmore Park. The Proteas women are in action. Most of the ladies also taking part in the Hollywood Bets Pro Series, which will be starting on the 4th of October. 5 competitions to look forward to in the CSA competition. The Pro 20, the Pro 50, which is the Hollywood Bets Women's competition. The CSA T20 4-day and 1-day series, which is the men's competition. But the women currently playing, serving up, working towards the World Cup.
Yeah, it's very exciting summer coming up with a lot of domestic cricket. Not too many internationals coming up this year in South Africa. But definitely the domestic cricket will keep us nice and entertained. Spoke about the excitement of the Hollywood Bets Pro Series, the Pro 50 and the Pro 20. Exciting times for women's cricket in South Africa.
This is good stuff from Cody Youssef. He did bowl well in his first couple of spells, and then when the ball died, so did its movement and its chances of taking his wickets until he got the very last wicket, Cody Youssef. But he was getting it to shape around and move around. It's just that it didn't get the luck.
Yeah, that's why sometimes you look at stats, you might think that somebody isn't bowled well, but that is not always the case. Yes, just get the ball away there. Bit of room outside that off stump. And Joe Carter, the captain, puts it away for that 4. First boundary of this innings for New Zealand Day.
It's really well worked from Joe Carter. Very little gaps in between that slip cordon, and he threaded it through from Cody Youssef. You don't want to waste this opportunity with width. You want to be tight on that stump line. You want to use those 2 slip fielders as well. Good stuff from Youssef.
Does hit the ball, the bat hard, doesn't he? It's one of those guys that really puts a lot of effort behind the ball. Can run in the whole day. He has had the liberty of putting his feet up almost the whole day. Just came in for cameo about 5 overs, 6 overs or so. I can get going again here.
And it was a nice little cameo from Cody Youssef. You would think that coming in at that time, it's just a matter of rotating the strike and giving it to Tiaan van Vuren. But he just countered the New Zealand A bowlers and showed that if they try him, he's going to fight back. But this is where he gets his money. This is where he butters his bread. Really needs to get those stumps clanking, get those wickets moving. It's going to be tucked around the corner by Joe Carter. The single closes over number 2. 6 for no loss.
Do you think that with the Cody Youssef, by the time he went out, South Africa would have already been speaking a lot about declaration? Mm-hmm. And that's his thought. The way that he went about things is that we want to carry momentum into the bowling innings, and that's why he came out the way that he did with Tiaan van Vuren to say that we're not just going to back down, block, and see what's going to happen, but rather go after it so that by the time they decide to declare, New Zealand are still in the mindset of being hit by the South Africa A team.
It's just going to be a dampener the way that the innings ended. It's a miscommunication, but they already had the upper hand. It's going to be shakes all around. It would have been a problem if he hadn't reached his 100. He comes around the wicket now. Ball bounces towards Senokwane. It's a dot.
Must say, surprisingly coming around the wickets. Pendulo, he was very, very vital and threatening when he was coming over the wickets, just pushing the ball across. There is a bit of a crack that's in and around that 5th, 6th stump area that was there in the morning. So maybe with him coming around and left arm, maybe try to pitch it in that area, but the ball angling towards the batter.
And he has that gully, he has Zubair Hamza at the slip. If he does decide to go straight, it's still the same field that he had as he was coming over the wicket, really. And so if he does decide to go straight, the only risk is that if it goes past the leg slip, it's going to be 4 because there's no deep fine leg. That's the risk. Oh, there is fine leg just out of my eye line. Apologies to you. Cody Yusuf collects it for a single.
Yeah, that is what we spoke about in terms of the line. It's going to be very important. You have to be very accurate, especially coming around the wickets, getting the ball to go into the right-hander. And you've got to think that the captain, Joe Carter, the New Zealand captain, does not mind this line of attack at all.
When he did get their wickets yesterday, both Mario and Carter, he got them with almost the same delivery. He was coming over the wicket. Still brand new ball, brand new wickets as well. So maybe right now showing a different angle of attack.
Yeah, tried new things. 40 minutes, as we said, to go.
You see this soft hands being used by Joe Carter. And what he did in the wickets in the first innings is that the batters did the best that they could because they played the ball right under their eye. It was just the movement that took the ball away from them that edged the bat. The movement is pretty dry right now, but at least in the morning they'll still have a relatively fresh ball, which will be just around that 10 overs old. Spans of drive. Marcus Ackerman can't draw it back. That's going to be 4 runs for Joe Carter. It ends the over. 12 for no loss.
And as you rightfully mentioned, Pendulo, that to get both of their wickets, but coming from over the wickets, this is an easier line of attack for the batsmen because they can see you all the way from where you come in. Don't have to change the way that they're standing. But the minute you come over the wicket as a left-hander and look to get the ball away from them, can get them not to be too sure about where their off-stump is, what they need to play and what they don't need to play. So it is a bit of a surprise to see him coming around the wickets with a new ball early on here, Tiaan van Vuuren.
But I suppose if the intent is for these gentlemen to survive, you might as well try and make them play. It's a nice bouncer to start off from Cody Yusuf. Doesn't play that, Reece Mariu. But Joe Carter did play the drive, and South Africa were not displeased with his stroke either. There were hands on heads when he played that drive. There were certain deliveries which looked like they were tentatively going to the slip cordon. So maybe just with the ball doing a bit less, it feels like, or rather, with the batters wanting to do less, it feels as if he's forcing them to do more. So if you can see the ball clearly, you can hit the ball clearly. And if you try to hit the ball, you're more likely to lose your wickets than when you're leaving the ball. Yeah,
that's a good point. That you are forcing them to play a lot more than what they would have liked, especially if you're talking about surviving this 40 minutes before close of play. But now you can't just leave the ball and let it go. You have to play at almost everything that's coming at you.
And that's a good line from Yusuf. You're wide enough to invite the stroke, but you're tight enough still to just squeeze it out of room. Where if the batter can leave it, you still have leeway to come closer and closer and closer in the next deliveries. And you make them feel like they can slash through it. That's where your slip comes into action. Just like that from Yusuf. It's good bowling.
Some energy bulb, Yusuf. He will run in the whole afternoon. South Africa deciding to continue with the partnership that ended the batting innings with Cody Yusuf. And of course, Tian van Vieren, operating from the chalet end. Change in field there with Munsami coming into that short leg area.
A little bit wide from Yusuf to entertain Reece Mariu, who hasn't scored a single run so far. That is what you call survival. And there's an over away, Yusuf. And we're just under 20 minutes until the close of play with 7 overs scheduled.
I think 18 minutes, maybe 5-6 overs.
It's been over 1,000 runs scored in this match. It's absolutely incredible. Between South Africa and New Zealand, a resilient batting. And it ends over number 5. 12 for no loss.
That is very exciting to see that brand of cricket. There's been very entertaining periods of the game. With the batters really going. New Zealand had it also, in the 9th wicket in particular. South Africa for their 7th and their 8th wicket really went after it, even when Marcus Ackerman was at the crease. And we've got a change in commentary here with Ken Boland coming in to replace Pendulo.
And here's Tian van Vieren again. Silly point takes cover. Don't think that was too far away from him, but a lovely stroke from Joe Carter, and he gets 4 more.
Yeah, that looks like it might have clipped the shins of Munsami. Definitely not a position anybody wants to field in.
Especially when you're 12th man, and you're a wicketkeeper normally. I mean, he would have thought he'd been sitting in the change room now, you know, contemplating the night's plans, enjoying a great comeback by the team. And I think maybe one of the reasons he's there is because his shadow goes right across the pitch. You can see there at a bit of an awkward spot in terms of length. And that's fine. As long as he doesn't move, he's quite entitled to be there. He's not allowed to... Okay, there he's about to step onto the pitch where he's not allowed to stand. But off the cut bit, he's welcome. Depending on how brave he is. Pretty brave at the moment, I think. Carter's not fussed though. Another lovely push through the covers for a couple.
Under fire there. I mean, you can just see that he's trying to upset the batters. We spoke about that shadow, possibly the ball bouncing into that shadow that he is creating. And every single ball he's been getting very, very close to the batter. No doubt that he'll be saying one or two words to him, then moving back in. Sometimes positions they are created not to actually take a catch, but actually to just disrupt the batter.
Exactly right. Yeah. The plan is elsewhere. It's deception. And distraction. But Carter's looking good and solid out there. Just the sort of start New Zealand would have wanted after a really pretty terrible afternoon for them. The record-breaking partnership for the 7th wicket between Sinatemba Kashile and Tian van Vuren bowling. Now, they put on 250 for the 7th wicket, which is a record for South Africa, eh? Previously held by two Proteas, one of them an absolute legend. Zander de Bruin and Hashim Amla put on 247 for the 7th wicket against New Zealand, eh? Same opponents, just up the road at Centurion back in 2004. So that's a nice little record for those two to claim for themselves.
Yes, definitely, especially if you mention in the names Zander de Bruin and Hashim Amla. If you take a record from where that man is involved, means that you must be doing something quite right, a lot right, actually.
It's just going to be one. It was early days in Hashim Amla's career, still 2004, but I'm still not sure why he was coming in number 8. Seems a little bit low down. Maybe there was a night watchman or an injury or something. End of the over, 19 without loss.
I guess stranger things have happened in cricket. Can remember how Andrew Wall opened a couple of batting innings for South Africa when needs be.
Around that time, yeah, wasn't it? Yeah. He got 160 in India. Beautifully punched, got up on his toes, and just, that's an immaculate cricket stroke by Joe Carter. Reece Murray, who hasn't got off the mark, of 16 deliveries. Carter's got 23 of 21.
Carter really taking it on here as the captain. Reece Murray has just had to watch from the other side while Carter goes about his business. Very good solid batting here from Carter. When it's there for a boundary, he really goes for it. And when it's not, also just gets a single.
Zander de Bruin, of course, didn't have a long test career for South Africa, but he got I think an 80-odd in India and ended up with a pretty good average in his test career. We'll just have a look at that. He played 3 tests and ended with an average of 38.75. Yeah, got an 83. I think it was against India, but I've just found the scorecard for that SAA game, and there was a night watchman. Paul Adams came in at number 6 and hung around a bit the next day. Hashim Amla came in number 7. Number 8 rather. Zander de Bruin at 7. They came in, SA were in trouble, 156 for 6. Zander de Bruin got 155 and Hashim Amla 115 to take them to 403 for 7. And eventually a first innings lead of 163 runs. But that match was drawn in the end. lengthening shadows now. You can see the long shadows cast by the players and umpire, but the grandstand as well, the shadow from there is rapidly heading towards the square, and normally that means trouble for light.
Yeah, definitely. But there's just 9 minutes to go in the game, so you would think that there's still enough time to get through those 9 overs. 9 minutes, rather. It's exactly what happened also yesterday and the day before yesterday, where they looked like the shadow was coming in, but 5:30, still able to go through. 4 overs also only left, so I'd say there's a very good effort also from the teams, because the last 2 days, only 4 or 5 overs haven't been bowled. And the way things are going here with 9 minutes to go, you'd say probably 2 more overs, maybe just leave 2 overs in the day's play.
Yeah, we've had a fair amount of spin. Ndwandwe bowled 21 overs and Jordan Herman 10 in the New Zealand innings. Between them in the South Africa first innings, Lennox and Ashok bowled 63 overs. It makes a difference, but yeah, as you say, good effort, KG.
Van Vuuren continuing from the Chalet end. I've been very impressed. I know we've spoken a lot about him, Ken, but I've been very, very impressed about the complete cricketer he's showing to be. Only about 24 years old or so, but he's showing that he's got what it takes to play at a higher level.
Well, I think any time you have a left arm quick, and he is genuinely quick, who can come in and bowl as he has, and can also bat well enough to score 120 from a position of pressure. That's a very, very handy cricketer to have indeed. Marco Jansen, of course, is in a similar vein. Fast left armer, very useful with the bat. There have been people have definitely spoken about the possibility in maybe 4 or 5 years' time of South Africa having a bowling attack, pace bowling attack of, say, Marco Jansen, Kwena Mapaka, Nandre Burger, and why not Tiaan van Vuuren? We could have 4 left armers and maybe rotate one of them out every now and then just to fit a right armour in for variation. Murray, you just can't get going here. If he had edged that hook shot, it would have seemed like a pretty rash option so late in the day.
I think Captain Joe Carter probably walked him down to him and saying that there is really no need for that. And Joe Carter himself on the other side, 23 from 26. Murray has faced 20 deliveries, nothing so far from his. So it'd be itching, you would say. Man that got a 200 in the first innings of the first match.
I like the way Joe Carter has stood up as captain, taken responsibility after a pretty horrid afternoon for his team. Pressure situation, has put his hand up, I'll open the batting, has come out and played very positively as well without being rash. It's just set a really good tone for his team, and if these two can get through to stumps without losing a wicket, it'll just make the tourists feel a little bit better about this third day.
Dot ball to end the 8th over with New Zealand A on 23 for naught. I think very important, Ken, as a captain, to put your hand up and say that the 40 minutes that we've got to bet will probably be a difficult period, especially after bowling those many overs and being hit all over the place like they did. So for the captain to say to himself that I'm not going to pass the responsibility on anybody else. I mean, in any way, he's a number 3 batsman, so why not just go out there and open and just show the team what he's looking from the team. Has had a very good start to this innings, 23 from just 26 balls. So it hasn't just been about survival of 40 minutes, but also taking the attack on when needs be.
Cody Yusuf is generating some good pace, but the radar's not quite 100% at the moment. Yeah, I think the point about Carter, though, is that he's not normally the opener. He's pushed himself up the order in order to take on the role.
And what we normally see sometimes when it's tough and the captain, when they're bowling, sometimes they'll take the ball and say, I want to try get a wicket. I've seen someone like an Aiden Makram when going at 10 and over say, let me try and take the ball and take the wicket. So there's a different one now with Joe Carter now going like, we've been fetching a lot. Our bowlers have been fetching a lot. And maybe the mentality of some of their batters they were thinking of, with being hit around here a bit. Maybe he's the one that has to keep the positive mindset in the team and saying that I'll go out there, push myself up, let's go for this 40 minutes and let's take it again tomorrow.
I know in certain change rooms there have been mutters through the years about captains who've been top order batters, won the toss and elected to bowl first because they didn't fancy a greenish-looking pitch. Hard work before lunch, and other captains who've been accused of shying away from the tough overs with the ball. Certainly not the case here.
Definitely Joe Carter has really taken this game. Just going at about 2.7 in terms of the run rate of the whole team, but he's betting closer to that 100 strike rate. Allowing Murray from the other side just to set himself. We'll start again tomorrow. Fresh day after resting overnight. It's definitely a plan here from Cody Yusuf, a barrage of short balls.
Murray, you, of course, fresh off that magnificent 249 in Potchefstroom. Didn't bat in the second innings. And made 30 in the first innings here. Bit of interest in a caught behind from Moon Sammy at the backward short leg, and then he seems to indicate anyway that it came off the thigh pad to end the over. 23 without loss, 9 overs gone. Looks like we're going to get one more, and Tiaan van Vuuren's jogging to his mark as umpire Gampu. The stadium clock, the scoreboard clock's gone to 5:30, but that's not necessarily the one they're using. Tiaan van Vuuren in that previous over, KG, he bowled some really great lines just outside off stump, which would have had the batter guessing a bit, but he wasn't really swinging it back into the right-hander. But here at Willamore Park, swing is not that common, is it?
Yeah, definitely. You don't expect it to jeff around. I think if we just look at the way that he got 2 wickets of this particular batsman in the first innings, was just getting the ball to just keep on going across them on the length, just popping up a little bit.
Umpire Gumpu just checking his follow through there. It's always a problem with the left arm over. Switching to around the wicket now.
Very important 4 balls here for Rhys Murray in particular. Has survived so far. He's faced 4 overs without scoring a run.
Yeah, he'd be mortified to now get out in the final over of the day.
Definitely after doing the hard work of not giving a wicket away. We're looking forward to coming back tomorrow to get some runs on the board.
Deep square leg in place. Pongwana prevents Murray from getting that first run.
Once again, it's been a very good day of cricket.
An incredible day. What a comeback we saw from South Africa. What a partnership between Kashile and Tiaan van Vuuren.
Quite amazing that both batting innings would say that there were comebacks from both teams. First up with New Zealand in that 9th wicket partnership between Heffy and Lennox. And South Africa also, after starting very well, then they lost the wicket of Jordan Herman. And then it just looked like Zubair Hamza also didn't last too long, but they rebuilt a very good partnership to 157 for 2 overnight.
Yeah, there have been wonderful ebbs and flows in this match. New Zealand A were 206 for 3, having won the toss and elected to bat first on the first day. From there, they slid to 312 for 8. But then that partnership you mentioned between Curtis Heffy and Jaden Lennox putting on 162 for the 9th wicket, and they ended with 482. South Africa 176 for 2 at one stage, and then 232 for 5, 277 for 6, and then Kashile and Van Vuuren adding 250. And that is going to be that for today. So what a day's cricket we've seen. South Africa A, somehow from that position of 232 for 5, replying to 482, managed to get themselves a 96-run first innings lead. And New Zealand A, well, they've done well to survive 10 overs before stumps without loss. They've got to 23, so their deficit is just 73. KG, what have been the enduring memories for you of today?
Not too far away, eh? Just the partnership between Sinatemba, Kashile and Tiaan van Vuuren. Just the way that they went about building that partnership to put themselves in a position where they can really, really try to take the game away from New Zealand A. So the way that it just started, I mean, you look at Sinatemba, Kashile was once on 30 of 70 balls or so, but ended up scoring it closer to the 100. Tiaan van Vuuren also just allowed Sinatemba Kashile to go when he was going, gave him the strike when needs be. But when he saw the opportunity to pounce on the bowling, he did exactly that. And as soon as Sinatemba Kashile went out, and a lot of people will probably think that, oh, flip, maybe then South Africa might be bowled out quite cheaply after that big wicket. But he just took it on, and he became the number 1 batsman in the following innings and took it on expectedly there, scoring at a very quick rate, got to that 100. Unfortunately, to be out on a run out, but I think he won't be disappointed at all with the way that he went about today.
Yeah, there was another partnership of 51 between Van Vuuren and Cody Youssef. And just to echo your sentiments, KG, about choosing the right moments and capitalising, just that period when New Zealand took the second new ball. And brilliant that they identified the attack being a man down, a strike bowler out injured in Jack Lister. And really it was some wonderful batting between Krishile and Tiaan van Vuuren that has put South Africa in a position where they're probably the more likely team to win the match. I'd say the draw is probably the most likely outcome though. But I still think we could be in for some fascinating cricket tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. I think there is still all to play for. South Africa would have a lot of confidence with the way they went about their batting innings. And I think tomorrow is going to be a very good day. That first hour of play might give us a lot of information that we might need, because you got to feel that with South Africa, as much as they a touch ahead in this game, you got to feel that that first hour of play, they need to get those wickets early on. Try to get about 2-3